And welcome back to Mastering Sales with Brent Gove. I'm your host. Good to have you here today. This is a broker agnostic training. So welcome everyone from Remax, Keller Williams, Compass, wherever you are, EXP, Sotheby's, Berkshire Hathaway. We're glad you're here. We want to add value to your life. So today we're going to focus on listings. There's an old saying in the business, you got to list to last. And I decided after 10 years, I wanted to be a listing agent, and I willed it into existence. How would you feel right now if you had 18 active listings and agents all over your city were showing your listings and bringing you offers on a weekly basis, sometimes a daily? Would that feel good? Well, listen to me. It doesn't happen on accident. When they asked Sir Edmund Hillary how he climbed Mount Everest, he was the first guy to climb it. They put a microphone in his face. And they go, "How'd you do it? How'd you climb Mount Everest?" And he goes, "Well, I was just out walking around." I promise you, Sir Edmund Hillary was just not out walking around. He was very purposeful and intentional about how he was going to climb the most dangerous mountain in the world. And so, are you purposeful? Are you intentional? Every one of you can become a listing agent if you have the passion, the fire. Write down this word. I'm going to go on a quest. It's like a quest for the Holy Grail. But I did, and I got to the point where I had 18 listings at all times. Always had about 18 active listings. And sometimes the highest I ever got up to is about 28. And let me tell you, how many of you would like to go to a beach house for the weekend, or go to the cabin at Lake Tahoe for the weekend, or go houseboating for the weekend, or just go, I better, I got to call, MacBook's low. I got to plug my MacBook in, everyone, real quick. Let's see. Okay, so how many of you would like to go away for the weekend and then actually, come on, charge. Okay, good. Hope that's not too low. I wasn't paying attention. Let's see, 9%. We're good. I got to charge it. Okay, so that's what it's like when you become a listing agent. I would kick off Thursday night, take 3-day weekends every weekend. I know what it was like to run around Friday, Saturday, Sunday, showing property, writing offers like a madman, like a mad woman for you, if you're a woman. And it's great. It's fun. But after years, a decade, you get a little tuckered out. So I want to teach you to become a listing agent. So how'd I do it? Well, what I did is after 10 years of working only with buyers, I was so turned off by sellers because they can be mean, nasty, ornery, say things to you like, what are you doing to market my house? I remember this one sweet old grandma from Folsom, California. She said, "Hey, it's been 3 weeks. My home isn't selling, and my neighbor's agent is pulling weeds with her in the yard. You have not pulled weeds with me in my yard." I'm like, "That's not what I do. I want to talk to your manager." And she was so upset. We had to terminate the relationship. And so now she was just a cute old grandma. But some people, you touch their money, you touch their heart. Some people's money is their God. And moving is right up there with death, divorce, new career, having a baby, and I forget the fifth one, but there's 5 major stresses in life, and moving is one of them. And then, man, when you tell them, "Hey, you're going to have to drop that price, $50,000 if you want this home to sell," that's an art. And so I had met some sellers that were pretty mean and nasty. I'll tell you a funny story. I had this couple call me in the Pocket. Anyone from Sacramento knows the Pocket, Green Haven area of the Pocket. "Hey, we want you to come out. Maybe we're thinking about selling. We would like to know, what our home's worth, and maybe give us some advice on putting it on the market." I go, "Oh, okay." I said, you're from the Pocket you mentioned?" They go, "Yeah." I go, "Well, hey, I just work with buyers. I'm really not a listing agent. And I think Century 21 is super active out there in the Pocket. I remember seeing a Century 21 office. I'm going to recommend that you drive over there and go knock on the front door and go talk to them. I'm sure they could help you with those things." Good enough. They're like, "Oh, I thought all agents listed homes." Not me, but talk to Century 21. They'll help you out. Like, "Brent, why didn't you take a referral fee?" Because it was a waste of my time. I didn't even want to take the time to call Century 21 agent to do the paperwork. I mean, you can print money with buyers. The problem is it's tiring. My record is 14 sales in a month, made $180,000 in a month. So you can become passionate about anything. So what I did was I did get tired of it after a while. I go, You got to list the last. They say that because you will get wore out by buyers. You know, you're at your anniversary, they plug you. They got to see a house. You're on vacation, they want you to see a house. You're at Little League, your grandkids' Little League, your grandson's daughter's soccer game. They're just yanking you. You're not present because you're so busy trying to do all those things. Anyways, where's my phone? All right, so put my phone on airplane mode again. Okay, so bottom line is this. If you want to be a listing agent, you go to every top producer panel at your local board. You go to Brian Buffini, Tom Ferry, Joe Stump, Mike Ferry, Mega Camp, Family Reunion, Remax's annual convention, NAR, CAR, you Women's Council of Realtors, ARIA, NAREP. You did that stuff? Oh, plus NAEA, plus Top Agent Toolbox, plus YLOPO, plus I could name 20 others I went to. I got myself on airplanes. I flew to Denver. I flew to Orlando. I flew to Dallas. I flew to Phoenix. I flew to Las Vegas. I flew to Seattle. I flew to Vancouver, Canada. I got on planes. I flew on Southwest Airlines. It was like $89 each way. You are now free to move about the country. And I'd share a room with somebody. Curtis Johnson and I used to share rooms to save money. 2 double beds. He's on one. I'm on $189. Now we're just like $90 a night. I did what I had to do. I ate granola bars. You know, I ate granola bars all the way to Florida and all the way back and drank the coffee and drank water because I didn't have money. But you know what? 2 years later, I had people calling me every week to list their home, every single week. Because when I'd meet a Sherry Sundahl or a Tara Diaz or a Chip Watson, what's up, Chip? Good to see you, man. Good looking stud. I haven't seen Chip in forever. When I saw Steve Jones, I go, Steve, I'm not in your market. You're in Phoenix. I'm in Sacramento. Chip, what's up, buddy? You're in Southern California. I'm up in Sacramento. I'm not compete with you. I saw you speak on the panel. I can't believe you sell 90 homes a year at 900,000. I want to be you when I grow up. I'm a buyer's agent, but man, do I want to become a listing agent? Would you tell me your number one source for getting sellers to call you? I'm not in your market. And Leonard Fazio from Iowa with 600 sales a year told me. A guy named Bill, I won't even say who, told me the ad. He looked around like the government was watching, like it was a drug deal. He's okay. You write the ad like this. You post it 3 times a day on Craigslist. His secret sauce. He had like 14 active listings at all time. It was all through Craigslist. Other people, it's Facebook. Other people, it's Instagram. Other people, it's postcards. Other people, it's whatever they do. And guess what? I got that information. And 2 years later, people called me every week. About a year or two after that, they called me 2, 3, 4 times a week. About a year or two after that, they called me every day. I had so many listing leads. I had to get a listing specialist to take the ones I didn't want. My average sales price when I was doing this was about $500,000. Today, that would be $800,000. But it was, I retired from real estate because of what I do 6 years ago. I live out here in the Caribbean. But the point is this. I got a listing specialist, then I got a second, then I got a third, then I got a fourth, then I got a fifth, then I had 6, not 6 buyer specialists. I had so many listing leads, I was feeding 6 listing specialists. I had 12 buyer specialists because listings have what? Listings are like teenagers. They have babies. Listings have babies. You get open house. That's a terrible thing. I can't believe I said that. I say things that are a little crazy sometimes, but you get family, friends, neighbors, coworkers, open house leads, internet leads. You get leads from listings. So just decide, will it to happen, and get your bottom on a train, a plane, a bus, carpool, do what it takes, show up to the Women's Council of Realtors. I sponsored Taffy Maurer into real estate years ago at Keller Williams, maybe a decade ago. Today, she just became the president of the Women's Council of Realtors in California. I'm proud of that. An awesome EXP agent. And she, it's the 8th largest economy in the world. And she's the president of the Women's Council of Realtors. Just had a big party for her 2 weeks ago. I helped sponsor the party, wrote her a big check. I'm proud of her. But here's the deal. You can become a listing agent if you're willing to get on planes and go places and hire coaches and ask people to go to lunch with you, to go to breakfast with you, to go to dinner with you. And they go, look, I'm booked for lunch. I'm booked for dinner. I even have a breakfast tomorrow morning. Then you have to say, well, can you meet me for coffee before breakfast? Are you in the hotel lobby at 7? Yeah. Would you be willing to meet me at 6:30? Well, that's kind of pushy. You know what? I don't think it's pushy. But if you think it's pushy, it's pushy. I don't think it was. You would say, sure, I like your persistence. Okay, 6:30. Nope, I have a coffee at 6:30. Can't do that. I go, I heard you're flying out Friday afternoon. They go, yeah. Can I take you to the airport? How would you like to spend 30, 40 minutes taking Brian Buffini or Tom Ferry or Bill Pipes or John Cheplak to the airport? Or Gail DeMarco, who sells 90 homes a year at $900,000. How'd you like to take her to the airport? They're like, Brent, I Ubered over. Get an Uber. Take her to the airport in your Uber. You didn't have to say it was your rental car. Why not Uber to the airport with a mega superstar? Could you take Pete Middleton to the airport? Could you take Jay Kender to the airport? He's going to Uber. Like, well, I don't fly out for 4 hours. Go to the airport twice. Here's your chance to spend 30, 40 minutes with someone to the airport uninterrupted. This is what I did, and it totally worked. And I get to the point where they say, what's the one thing that'll move the needle the most for you in your real estate practice this year? What's the one thing? There was a period when I'm like, that's showing property at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m., and writing offers at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight, 1 p.m. That was my Saturday. That was very normal for me. Well, you seem like you were out of bounds. Oh, no. I was at the museum on Monday with the kindergartners. On Tuesday, I was at the pumpkin patch with the 5th graders. On Wednesday, I was at the Science Museum in San Francisco with the 8th graders. On Friday, we went to Apple Hill with the 6th graders. I was at all my kids' school stuff, but on the weekend, baby, I was a weekend warrior. I worked 18 hours a day on Saturday and Sunday. I go to church Sunday morning, get out of church, bam, watch me go, baby. Turn me on. Because people who can afford to buy real estate are employed Monday through Friday. I went snow skiing during the week, no lines. I went water skiing and houseboating during the week, no, not crowded. And on the weekend, when everyone's out and about, I put myself in the path of progress. I did the open houses. I did these things. And you could do this. So I want to say this. What do you do when you're at an open house and someone says, well, we have your card, we'll call you. And you feel like you're hitting it off with them, because I did a lot of open houses. I sold 427 homes in 1 year with my team. Nobody does that alone. 327 of the 318. 318 of the 427 sales were strangers we met at open houses. My whole secret sauce was open houses, but I did so many of them: Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, for months and months and months, till I had about 80 clients. And when you have 80 clients, like, how do you work with 80 buyers? You don't. The great thing about 80 buyers is the cream rises to the top. And what I mean is, they'd call me, Barton would call me, go, look, we're coming to town. We've been into town 3 or 4. I can't keep coming to Sacramento. We have to buy a home this weekend. We're $800 to $1 million. Can you please help us? I apologize for putting that kind of pressure on you, but we have to buy a house. Who wants a buyer like that? They're motivated. Well, when you get 80, you can have them. But you may not be willing to set up signs at 9 a.m. for an hour and put out 30 signs like I did. And then change your shirt because you're sweaty because it's 108 in Sacramento in the summer. Or change your shirt because it was raining that day and it was blowing, and use bungee cords to strap your signs to telephone poles because they blow away. Because I live by my calendar. Rain, I'm like the postman, baby. Rain, nor shine, nor snow, nor earthquake. The mail's getting delivered, baby. Woo! Come on. I don't know what my neighbors think here in Puerto Rico, but I think they think I'm crazy. So anyways, I don't feel like doing an open house. I really don't care how you feel. I don't feel like lead generating call. That's what you sound like, a teenager. Stop it. A man or a woman does what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Immature people. This is most real estate agents. Ready? I'm going to give you life. I'm excited, I'm depressed. I'm excited, I'm depressed. I'm excited, I'm depressed. I'm excited, I'm depressed. I'm excited. They go up and down, up and down, up and down. I got 5 arms in escrow, I got nothing in escrow. I got 3 in escrow, I got nothing in escrow. It's just this torturous thing. And you're going to be like a thermostat. Set that thing, baby. Don't be a thermometer going up and down with what's going on in your life. You're up because you've decided it and you live by your calendar. And I did those open houses for like 3 or 4 months. I had so many clients, I had to quit doing them on Saturdays. And then on Saturdays, I had so many clients. I'd like, okay, you're in at 9, you're in at 3, you're in at 1, you're in at 11, you're in at 5. I only got 7 o'clock left. Okay, we'll go at 7. And there's some people I'd meet even later. I go into a vacant home, take the key out before it got dark. I go back and show properties at 11. I'm passionate. I'm a warrior for my kids, for my wife. And I worked hard on the weekends and I get home late. Yep. But the other 5 days I was there. I was the little league coach. It wasn't Chip Watson. I love Chip Watson. He's got a cool hat. He looks like a little league coach. It wasn't Brian Ostrovsky. It was me. I was a soccer coach. My wife coached. I coached 2 teams. Kathy coached. When we coached 3 teams in the fall. We were in the game. And so guess what? I did these open houses and I'd see some people I'm connecting, man, Barton and I are hitting up. And then you could just see there's something there. And Teresa, and there was something there. And it was so good. I said, hey, I'd love to get your information. And then Teresa goes, I got your card. I'll call you. Sherry's like, I got your card. I'll call you. Kim, Barton, Sonny, I got your card. I'll call you. And it's the same thing every time. They have a home to sell. And they're not sure how to put it all together. And I go, Barton, just 1 second before you go. Yeah. I go, I'll bet you money you have a home to sell. And you're kind of not sure how to put all this together. And every time Teresa, Sherry, oh my gosh, how'd you know? And I literally say, because people usually give me their name and number. And right now you're like, how do we do this? How do we do this? What you don't know about me is I'm trained as an appraiser. I'm an expert at valuing property. Now you may be looking at what Zillow says. And I'm telling you, sometimes it's way high. Sometimes it's way low. Sometimes they get it right. I wouldn't place your future on a third of the time, 33% accuracy. That's number one. They don't know if you remodeled. They don't know if you re-roofed. They don't know if you put a pool in. They don't know anything. Just average you with all your neighbors. Do you want to be average with all your neighbors? And so here's the deal. You could call the bank and pay almost $500 for an appraisal, and they'll come out and appraise it, but they're looking back 9 months to a year. And what happened 6 months ago, 9 months or a year, or 3 months back isn't what's happening right now. What I do great is I look at the market 6 months, 9 months, 3 months ago, but I see where it is right now. And it may be that I can get you 50,000 more. Like, but it won't appraise. I go, yep, but I can get a cash buyer from the Bay Area who will pay for it. It doesn't have to appraise. And then you could take that bank appraisal, you list your home at 850 at the top of the market, at the highest sales you sell, and it sells the first week, and you think your real estate agent's a genius. Your real estate agent just cost you $50,000 because they didn't look at the actives. They didn't look at where it was at. The truth is you could have gotten 9 and we could get a cash buyer. Let's say, man, there wasn't a cash buyer. It was a conventional buyer. They put $400,000 down, and like, well, pay 9. And like, they just won't. Well, let's say they go to 720, 875. Well, I get you 25,000 more. Do you care about $25,000? Yes, I do. Tell you what, Pam Teresi, Luann Chicasso, Kevin Cahill, let me come to your house. I'll do a quick 5-minute pop by. That's right out of Brian Buffini's mouth. I'll do a quick 5-minute pop by. Let me see your house. I'll go back to my office and do my homework. I'll pop an appraisal in the mail to you in your email, and you're going to know exactly what your home's worth. And it might just be 100,000 more than you think it's worth. It might be 100,000 less. I'm an absolute expert. What I do, there's no cost for my service. And I'll be straight up. I hope in a year or two, if you ever go to sell that, you'll think of me and maybe call me for an interview. But you don't have to even call me for an interview because everyone's like, they're wise. And I go, I would love to be interviewed to possibly be a listing agent for you in a year or two. And I know they're ready to sell in a month or two, but I say a year or two. I'm like, okay. They go, yeah, why don't you come over? I got so many listings doing that from open houses. So there's my little trick for you on what to do at open houses. Last thing I want to do is say this. What do you do if a seller won't sign the listing agreement? They won't sign the listing agreement. They're nervous. Well, we're going to interview Coldwell Banker. We're going to interview Remax. And plus we're not ready to list till next, let's see, right now it's October. We're not ready to list till next July. We want the kids to graduate. We got a wedding in June. School's wrapping up in June. We'll kind of get home on the market next July. And I go, awesome. Here's what I recommend. We know the home's worth $850. Yeah. We agree it's top of the market, right? Yeah. Let's list it right now for $1 million. And let me tell you why. I asked the people from Long Island, I go, who pays top dollar on Long Island? They go, people from the city. I go, what city? They go, New York City. They think our prices are cheap. In Sacramento, it's people from San Francisco and San Jose. They think there's always somebody who, so you say, you become an expert. I send out an email to 30,000 professionals, doctors, lawyers, firemen, nurses, professionals, and they're who I cater to. And they come in and they do these things called a 1031 exchange. And they always wait till the last second. I show them everything in the MLS and there's nothing. They're like, I don't like anything. I'd like to show them yours, but if the price will be $1 million, it's non-negotiable and it's as is. So if we take 1 minute and we list this for $1 million right now, I'm telling you, there's a chance. And I specialize in cash buyers, won't even have to appraise. $1 million. I might show it once or twice between now and next July. It's October. I might show, I'm managing the expectation. I'm not going to put a sign in the yard. I'm not going to market it. It's going to be a pocket listing. I'm going to take the listing. I'm going to fold it in half. It's going to be called a pocket listing. It's going to stay in my pocket. And when I find a desperate cash buyer, I'm going to bring them here. And guess what? That deck you were going to rebuild for $20,000, you don't have to rebuild the deck. The roof you were going to put on for $18,000, you don't have to put that roof on. It's going to be an as-is sale. It's going to be $1 million. And if I sell it in March and you're not ready to move till July or August, we just set up a rent back for 6 months or a year. Can you guarantee? I go, I can guarantee you I'll get a rent back, or we won't take the deal. I 100% guarantee I could get a 1-year rent back, or we won't take the deal. So yes, I can guarantee a 1-year rent back. Now what happens is I get a great offer and I tell them the price is not negotiable. It's $1 million. And I'll get a great offer and they'll say, that's great, but we want you out in 30 days. And they're like, we'll leave. Oh my God, we got 150,000 more. We'll go live with your parents. We'll live on their couches. They literally changed the deal on me. I'm good. I'll wait a year. They won't give us a year. We don't sell. We're in control. And guess what? So what do you say? We take 3 minutes right now. And I have a good old, I don't use win forms. Win forms is for rookie. If you're doing win forms, I don't respect you. You have it in front of you on a piece of paper and you go, and I go, let's list it right now. It takes 2 minutes, $1 million. What do you say? I might show it once or twice. And I'm not only going to get you 150,000 more, I'm going to save you about $40,000 in those repairs. So I'm actually getting you close to 190,000 more. I believe there's a strong chance. What do you say? Let's do it. What do you think, honey? Let's do it. Then I put $1 million and then I put 6%. I put 2.5. I go initial here, the initial. And I go, by the way, I offer 2.5 to other brokers. They never ask, well, why do you get 3.5? They don't ask. The commission is the standard normal 6%. The other brokers get 2.5. If they were to ask, and they never do, I would just say that's the standard offering in the MLS. If it's not the standard offering in the MLS, it is in Sacramento. If it's 3% in your market, put 3. Don't put 2.5 and say that's the standard offering. That would not be true. You lack integrity, and that's not a good thing. Okay. So I always get them at 6. I hope they drop it to 2% in Sacramento because I'd still listed at 6 and I'd get 4. And I have had them say it a few times, like once every 2 years. I go, look, that buyer's agent is buying coffee for their clients. They are not marketing your house. I am marketing your house. I am using first-class photography. I'm sending out 30,000 emails to the Bay Area and putting your home in front of people who can afford to pay you top dollar. I spend those marketing dollars. If you want to give it to them and they're buying coffee for their buyer, you could do that. Highly recommend you not do that. This is what gives me the money and the resources to market your home. Stop talking and just smile. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And you move on. They never ask. And so you get 6% every time and they're going, I'm getting $1,000,000. They don't negotiate to 6% ever. Hope you enjoyed today's Mastering Sales with Brent Gove. I love you guys. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Bye for now, everyone.